Hey everybody, happy Thursday afternoon. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. About to go do another drive with Tesla full self-driving supervised version 13.2.1. So let's get going with it. We're gonna just push the little blue button. Look behind us. Reverse out of the driveway. And get going. Beautiful day. Sun's back out. It's 69 degrees here in the greater Houston metropolitan area. Come up to the stop sign, we'll take a right turn. Nice turn. Moving our way through the neighborhood here in Porter, Texas. So we finally got some good weather today. Nice. Yeah, it's about as good as it gets. Like I said, 69 degrees, high 60s, low 70s. No clouds. But man, we earned it over the last week and a half. All right, about to make a left turn here. Good turn. About to make an immediate right. Good turn. Oncoming vehicle. We don't spaz out. Coming into the traffic circle. Cars on both sides of the road. Got a car in the traffic circle. It comes out. We go in. Nice and smooth. Perfect. Just about to get out of the neighborhood in about a couple of 100 feet and take a right onto North Park. And once we get on North Park and get on our way, I'll discuss what our FSD drive is for today. Coming up to the traffic light at North Park. They still haven't fixed that traffic light. It's still kind of hanging down. All right, we got the green light. So we have protected right. We take it. Great job. Nice and tight. Stayed in our lane. See how our speed does here. We are about to go through a construction zone for about a good mile, mile and a half. Looks like we have a little traffic ahead of us. Oh, we got a work truck to the right. Perfect. And we get over immediately. As soon as we identify that work truck to the right that's stationary, we get over to the left to get around. We don't wait till the very end. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And we get back over to the right. So you got a horse trailer that had its right blinker on. Now it's got it back on again. now it's got it off. I think they're still trying to figure out exactly where they need to turn. So we're just going to avoid that and get over to the left. Again, lots of road construction through here. We're doing great. Narrow lanes ahead. Well, that's an understatement. So what we are on right now, yes, this is North Park, but literally 6 months ago, this was the median of North Park. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of road construction going on. They're widening the road, which it needs, but it does present some obstacles right now. We seem to be doing fine. Right. So now that we are at a stoplight, I'll go ahead and tell you what we're doing today. We are going to the Houston George Bush Intercontinental Airport, and we are going to do a gauntlet run of the airport. So if you're new to my videos, one of the things I like to do with each new software version that comes out is I have a small handful of gauntlets all around the city of Houston that I like to take the software through just to see how it's progressing on certain fairly complex things. And I go into these gauntlets with the presumption that I'm going to have some interventions. I mean, that's what they are. They're gauntlets. They're edge cases. And quite frankly, our airport is one of the worst, just because of all the immense amount of construction that is currently going on at our airport to expand it and make it a little nicer, but also to make it a little larger. What I generally like to do, what my process is I like to spend, you know, at least 2 or 3 days with the software first, just taking it around my neighborhood, getting a feel for it, letting it marinate, if you will. And obviously I know software doesn't marinate, but you know what I mean. Where I personally get comfortable with the new version, kind of understand all the bells and whistles before just putting it straight into a gauntlet, so that I know what it can or can't do. Because quite frankly, it's not productive to put something through a gauntlet if you already know that it's going to fail, right? You just need to report that back up to Tesla. Like mapping data, well, that's something that you need to, you know, send back up to Google Maps and to Tesla, which I do. But certain areas are just, they just have complexities, you know, due to certain types of traffic congestion, certain types of road construction, situations with police officers on the street directing traffic manually. And so it's not something that is a error in any mapping data or, you know, error in anything else. It's just something that the software needs to learn, right? Because it's just a reality of life on the road. And so yeah, I've got a small handful of these places, and the Houston Intercontinental Airport is one of those. And so that's where we're going today. The other ones is like downtown Houston, although not as difficult, mean, I'll just be blunt with you. It's even on version 12. Version 12 pretty much tackled downtown Houston pretty well. So I rarely had any. By the time I got to version 12.5, I can't think of any interventions I had downtown. The museum district has its complexities as well, but again, version 12 was handling that pretty good. Rice University, I did have one critical intervention down at Rice University, and so we'll go back there when we do the medical to the museum district. But far and away, the one where I could just never get out of it without some sort of at least one or two interventions is our airport. And so we'll just see how it does today. Again, I am going into this gauntlet. I've had, other than a couple of red hands on the first day when I was literally going 0 miles per hour stopped, and again, never had those the next couple of days. But other than those 2 red hands over the last 3 days, I've had no interventions, critical or non-critical. So I'm going into this just to forewarn you with the presumption that we'll probably have some interventions. But that's okay, because we want to see how the software is progressing in certain scenarios, and if we can see some emergent capabilities. And you'll never be able to know in the environment of Houston, Texas, without taking it out there and, you know, taking it for a spin. So we are not going into this trying to maintain 0 intervention drives. We are going into this to see how version 13.2.1 does at the Houston George Bush Intercontinental Airport. So there, that's my little preamble on that. Well, actually, I'm not done with my preamble. Let me continue. What I do, how I've structured this Houston Airport Gauntlet. By the way, we're doing great right now. It's not. I know I'm not narrating the drive very much right now, but it's doing fantastic. We do need to get over on Will Clayton Parkway, so our exit is coming up in 3/4 of a mile. So we do need to start moving over to the right at a certain point. Probably this point would be good. Yeah, let me put a pin in my preamble and until we get over to Will Clayton Parkway. So we got about another 1/4 mile. Got 2 more lanes to get over. And how could I have ever doubted her? I didn't, but did want to focus on that. All right, so now we are on the off-ramp for Will Clayton Parkway, which will take us to the airport. So the way I've structured in the past this gauntlet is we first go to the rental car center. And the reason why I always like to start at the rental car center is, number one, it's near the airport. It's about 2 miles from both of the terminals, and there's 2 primary terminal bays at the Houston airport. There's one terminal that's got, I should say, a terminal bay that's got terminals C, D, and E, and then another terminal bay that's got terminals A and B. So you've got, you know, 2 main parts of the Houston airport for 5 terminals, 2 in one and 3 in the other. The rental car center's about 2 to 3 miles from both of them, but it's massive. So as you can imagine, the Houston airport's huge. We've got 1 rental car center, a lot of traffic coming through here. So as you imagine, there's a lot of demand for, okay, we're riding in the, here's a little snafu right there. We should have not been in that. We were riding in the yellow part of that lane right there, and we should not have been doing that. It wasn't a big issue because that actually merges anyway. So we would have needed, by the time we had to be over anyway, but technically you're not supposed to be riding in yellow. So you saw that we had it wasn't an intervention, but it was a snafu of lane selection. So anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, so the rental car center, it's humongous. And if you think about a world where we have cyber cabs, robo-taxis, if you will, one of the primary things that system would be used for is at the airports, right? So if you could imagine, like, one of the major uses of a cyber cab or a robo-taxi is the same thing you do with Uber and Lyft today. Is a lot of their traffic is to and from the airport, picking people up from the airport and taking them to the airport. So that's one of the reasons I like to start at the rental car center there, is that. But to go on with that is, if you think about it, if we live in that world, you're going to have a terminal station where a lot of these cyber cab robo taxis are housed, right? And they're, you know, recharged at certain intervals, going back and forth to the airport. And where rental car centers are today is, quite frankly, probably going to be pretty similar to the way a lot of cyber cab terminals will be set up. And so that's why I like to start there. I kind of stage myself at the rental car center, and then from that point we start the Gauntlet. And then the way I have the Gauntlet set up is, obviously, like I said before, we get to the rental car center, and then from there we go to the terminal C, D, and E terminal bay, and we try to go either to the terminal C departures area, which can be a little bit difficult, but we're going to see today. So it'll either take us to the way the lanes work there, and you'll see this when we get there, is it branches off. I was going to say forks off, but I guess you could say forks off into 3 different ways. You can go to terminal C parking, which obviously that'll get you to terminal C, D, and E. Or you can go to terminal C departures, and terminal C and E are together. So that departure ramp gets you up to both. Or it'll miss both of those and take you over to terminal E arrivals, which technically would still be able to drop somebody off, but it'd be a pain in the butt. So what we want, I have it set to get us up to the terminal C departures ramp. So we're going to see how it does in doing that. And then once we're able to matriculate our way through terminal C and E, we'll come back around and go by terminal C and E arrivals on the backside. And so we've already got a complexity to even get to terminal C departures, just because of all the construction and the fact that there's just this mega fork right there in between terminal C, D, and E that you got to take pretty quickly. And then we'll go to terminal E arrivals, terminal C and E arrivals. And the complexity there is, number one, there's just a mass of humanity out there. It's all on the road. People are having to park alongside the road. There's police officers directing traffic, directing arriving passengers, and it's just a cluster, you know what. And so, generally speaking, I've had to intervene a few times to get through there, just mainly because of the police officers on the road directing traffic. So again, we'll see how we do there. And then finally, after we pass through there, we go up to terminals A and B, that terminal bay. And I've got it set to get us up to either terminal A departures or terminal A arrivals, one or the other. They're both right there together. So either way, that'll get you there, but I'd prefer it to get us up to terminal A departures, right? And again, the reason why it's hard to bifurcate between those is because there's so much construction It's like literally sometimes you have to go to one of those other places to get dropped off. And then we'll have it take us back to the rental car center and then head home. And there we go. We got the rental car center sign right there. Already got human drivers getting confused on which way to go. That truck almost went to Central Cargo. Now it knows it needs to go to the rental car center, or at least go to this direction. You see the airport to our right. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but probably a little while ago. All right. Coming down the ramp. We'll be going to the rental car center parking lot shortly. And so yeah, that is the Houston George Bush Intercontinental Airport Gauntlet that I like to take every new software version through. What I will tell you, it is the only place in Houston, Texas where I have come to ever since I've had FSD, and I've never gotten out of this place without an intervention. Now I've had some good runs, and like I said, I've probably done this gauntlet about a dozen times now. Like I said, it's the most complex. It's gonna throw up the most complexities at us. But the best I think I've done coming out of here is I think I got through here with 2 small accelerator taps one time. And no critical interventions. So I did not have to take over to avoid a wreck or a person. Okay. Oh, good job. For some reason it was getting over, so it had a bad lane selection at first, and then it corrected itself. So we could have gotten there had it done a U-turn. It would have just taken a little bit longer. Like, you can get there. Had we done that U-turn, you would just go down there a ways and then come back up. This is the shorter, more efficient route. So it was originally selecting that U-turn. It corrected itself and got over here so that we can go the shorter route. But again, 6 out of 12 half a dozen of the other. So I won't even call that a bad lane selection, because it just depends on which way you want to come at the rental car center. I would say the way we're going now is probably 200 or 300 yards shorter. So overall better, but I won't even call that a bad lane selection. All right, passing by the rental car center, going to the visitors parking lot. There we go, throw our right blinker on. Now let's see how we do. Let's see what Tesla FSD supervised version 13.2.1 selects for us in the parking lot. Is it going to drop us off like a cybercab robo-taxi, or is it going to decide to park us? We'll see. Probably. Let's just see. It's going to get around this car. All right, well, that's what it's going to do. It's going to drop us off like a cybercab robo-taxi, which would be pretty normal. A lot of Ubers and Lyfts come through here to drop people off, you know, to get a rental car. So I'm going to go ahead and park, get staged, and then get coordinates set in, and then we'll be on our way. All right, everybody. Talk to you in a second. Bye. All right, everybody. I've got all of the coordinates set in the navigation, and we are ready to go. I went ahead and parked here at the rental car center just to get out of people's way since I wasn't being dropped off. So did that, got everything set in there, and now we're ready to go. So I'm going to push this little blue button, and then we are going to start the gauntlet that I talked about earlier. Let's go. All right. We do have some cars behind us. They're moving out. So there we go. We start making our way, reverse out. Got a truck here going the wrong way. We avoid him. Yeah, you're going the wrong way, sir. And Tesla FSD handles a truck going the wrong way in the visitor center parking lot perfectly. All right. Gonna make a right up here as we're leaving the rental car center parking lot. Good job, nice tight turn, stayed in our lane. Gonna move over to the left because we will need to take a left up here at the stop sign. I believe the traffic in front of us, though, going this way, has the right of way. I don't think that they have a stop. Yep. No, they do. Okay, my bad. They do have a. So this is a three-way stop. Hesitated just a little bit right there. Didn't need to. And when I say hesitate a little bit, I mean just a skosh. But still, want to be transparent there. There was a little bit of hesitation as it was going in there, and there were no other vehicles. It was a three-way stop. So I'm not really sure why there was just that little tinge of hesitation. Did not need that. I'm not sure anybody in the back seat would have felt that, but as the supervisor in the front seat, I definitely noticed. All right, so we're out of the rental car center, getting back up on the primary airport road here, JFK Boulevard. And like I said, our first destination is going to be Terminal C departures ramp. And as we get closer, I'm going to go ahead and pull the navigation back up. I like to keep the FSD visuals up because I know folks really like to see that. But as we're going through this gauntlet, I will need to bring the navigation points up on my screen so that I can exit out of them as we work our way through them. So I hope everybody understands that. You may lose the really nice full self-drive, full screen visual here for a little bit. All right, we got a vehicle in front of us that is all over the place. I don't know if it's because they're on their phone or they're confused. That can happen quite a bit at the airport. People don't come here. You know, a lot of people that come to the airport, they don't come here all the time, right? So they're a little bit confused. That individual, I think, was on their phone, though. All right, continue. There we go. Now he realizes he needs to get out. Oh my gosh. Sir, put your phone down. I tell you, every single time I video one of these drives, there's at least one. All right, we're making our turn here, getting closer to Terminal C. Oh, we got some new signs. The signs above us were not there 4 or 5 weeks ago. All right, let's see how we got some new signs here. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see how well we can follow them. But they're brand new. I mean, literally new. Up, we took the wrong lane. So that lane selection there was, so we are at Terminal E now instead of Terminal C. I told you it can get difficult right there. So we should be over there. Well, you know what? This is new. Hold on a second. This is all brand new. Okay, wait a second. Let me just, give me a second here. Yeah. This isn't even on the map. I'm looking at the map data right now. It's not even on the map. All right, let's see how we do. We're just going to go with it and see how we do with the police officer. I may have to intervene here because he's in the middle of the road, like I said. All right. No, we did not have to intervene there. All right, we're going to progress through here very slowly. So we are in Terminal E arrivals right now. And it's going to pull over to make our stop. So we're going to have to reset. Thank you. Perfect. All right. So let me well, hold on a second. So you can get, so here's the deal. From here, this will get you, this is all Terminal C, D, and E. Where we just went to is a brand new part. So let me go ahead and edit trip. So let's get through here first and I don't want to run over any police officers. There we go. Okay. Well, let's put a pin in it. I was going to explain. We did have a snafu. We got to where we needed to go to meet our objective, but not exactly where I wanted to go. So let's just work on through here first. And I'm going to get ready to intervene if I need to, because obviously I don't want to piss off police officers or run them over. I didn't have to for the first one, but man, you see what I'm talking about. I mean, they're right there on the road, but it handled that first police officer really, really well. All right, it's trying to get over to the left, but there's oncoming traffic. Is going to, there you go, let me wave to them. All right, it's getting around. It's maneuvering on through. But it's gonna wait, there you go. The police officer's telling me to go through, but yes! Yeah! It's coming, it's going. It didn't want to hit that lady you were telling me to. All right, it's going, it's going. All right, I'm gonna have to intervene here a little bit. There you go. That guy was getting right up on my car, but man. All right, so I did have to do one intervention right there, and I'm gonna have to do another one right here. There it goes. So unfortunately, we had to do intervention to get through there. Let's see how we do right here. Oh my God, look at this. Holy moly, what the fuck? I see it. Good Lord. My gosh. I mean, you see what I'm talking about here? All right, so let's get on with the rest of the gauntlet. Man, all right, that's the only time you're gonna see me be happier about an intervention versus a non-intervention drive. Wow. So a police officer was basically didn't realize a woman was in the middle of the crosswalk. But then he got right up on the side of my car. And I mean, it's just not, I mean, if you're on the side of my car, I don't want to run over your feet. So I did have to intervene there. But man, that was so good. All right. So we're going to terminals A and B now. Yeah, so that we got to where we needed to go if we were going to either drop somebody off at terminal C and E or pick somebody up at terminal E. It wouldn't have been good for picking somebody up at terminal C, but I didn't design it for that. Here's why it did not go to the place that I asked it to go to. They completely opened up a whole area of the airport that didn't exist prior to me setting in those coordinates. That's what I'm talking about. There's just so much construction. It's just going to be hard right now to get it to go to one specific point at that terminal right now. Until they get rid of all of that construction in a cyber cab world, you're just going to need to get it to terminal C and E arrivals or depart, that combination area. So we got there, not to the specific place we wanted to, but if we wanted to drop somebody off, we met the letter of the law. I did have to intervene in order to get us past a police officer. But man, prior to that intervention, the Tesla overrode the police officer and was right. He didn't realize a woman was in the middle of the crosswalk. I mean, I get it. Bless their heart, man. They're just... That's a hell of a job right there to try to be, you know, in the middle of the road, manually directing traffic around that sea of humanity. All that road construction. People don't know where the hell they're going. It did a really good job of getting out of the right lane into the middle lane too. Wow. It could have just stayed there in the right lane and gone along for the ride. All right, let's see how we do here. All right, we're passing by Terminal B departures. Let's see if it'll get us up to Terminal A departures. All right, we got our blinker on. Let me get... is it gonna make it up there? Yes, sir. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of that. Awesome. Now let's see how we do. There may be some police officers up here, so let's see how we do. Well, there's one right in front of us. So, oh, I'm gonna need to take over there. Oh. Let me get around the police officer. Yeah, that's all right. Let's see how we do here. Police officer directing traffic. There we go. So we did have a red hands right there. Now we're gonna go a little slow here for the passenger or the person getting out of their vehicle. We matriculate on through, and then we're gonna make it back over to the rental car center. We got to pass through another terminal. Let's see how we do passing through this terminal. Still a lot of road construction. Yeah, that red hands, I'll have to look at the video. I'm pretty sure that's related to the sun. I don't think that was the vehicle directly in front of us. There was a police vehicle directly in front of us, and we were slowing down to get around it. But as we were slowing down to get around it, the sun just hit us right in the perfect spot. Which is funny because we've been driving around, you know, looking at the sun this whole time. We've had the sun piercing down in us the whole way. So Yep, so we had an intervention and a red hands. I told you. I went into this presuming we weren't going to get out of here unscathed. Unscathed is probably a bad word way to because we obviously did not have to. We had no critical interventions, but we did have the non-critical intervention to get past the police officer at Terminal C and E. And then we had the red hands. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you one of the things I've done for these. Again, I'm not getting a lot. That's only the third red. I've had it for 4 days, and that's the third time I've gotten it. But again, it's always been under the same scenario. All right, we got the rental car. I don't think we're going to make that. We're probably going to have to. Oh my God. Wow. What I was about to say is I think we're going to have to reroute. It had a gap. It had to let that one car through and then get over. I mean, the thing is, I didn't think that car in front was going to get ahead of time for us to get over with the exit right there. Wow. That was incredible. Wow. Absolutely incredible. Now, let me be transparent. I think had there been another car behind them, we would have missed that exit and had to reroute, which would not have been the worst thing in the world. Reroute, I mean, people miss exits all the time. And as you saw, us getting off of that ramp onto JFK to get to the, there's literally like a quarter mile to a half mile to get all the way over to the right. So it's, you got to do it quick. And so if it were to have had to reroute, I would not have called that an issue because it just did not have enough space and time to get over there. And so humans have to reroute that all the time. But still, I mean, I was really, that was impressive. That was impressive. Woo! All right, so we're gonna pull, oh, not yet. It was about to put its blinker on, but I don't want to go into rental car return. I don't want to give them my Tesla. There you go. We're going to visitor parking, not rental car return. I'm keeping my Tesla. Especially after that. But let's get inside the parking lot. We'll see what it decides to do again. My guess is it's going to do the exact same thing as do the robo-taxi, cybercab drop-off, Uber Lyft drop-off, but we'll just see. All right, we got a truck, got a Dodge Ram coming through there. Give them some space. Got other cars trying to park, so it's going a little slow here. Got a pedestrian walking through, taking off his sweater. Yeah, it's getting a little hotter. It was cold when we first got up this morning, but now it's really nice. All right, yeah, it's probably going to get in right behind here and do just the exact same thing this dude's doing. All right, watch it. Yep, there we go. All right, well, I'm going to get parked and get restaged, and we'll head on back to the house. And while we're headed back to the house, we'll just debrief what happened here. All right, everybody, talk to you on a little bit. Bye. All right, everybody, we are at the rental car center and about to head back home after doing the Gauntlet. So let's push the little blue button and head on home. All right, push the button, start reversing out. There we go, we're clear. Made our way out of the parking lot. Make a left turn up here. Have to get into the turning median. Good to go. All right. Over to the right, we're going to take a right up here at the four-way stop. Get up to the stop sign at Rankin Road. Come to our 0 mph NHTSA stop. Make our right turn. Got some road construction directly in front of us. Great job. Got another four-way stop here. We're going to go underneath the bridge and then take a left. We got the right of way. We go. Got another stop sign up here. Make our 0 mph NHTSA stop. Oncoming traffic has the right of way. We wait for them and then we go. Great job. Starting to leave the airport. All right. Car turning right there. Merge right here. Nobody to merge with though, so that made it easy. All right, we got a truck to our side. We got to be careful with them. We are. Put our left blinker on. Get in behind the Ford F-150. Get over to the left again. Great job. Get up here to the stoplight. Nice smooth move into, well, we didn't have to come to a complete stop. I was about to say I thought we were going to have to come to a stop, but we didn't. I think we're going to keep the green. We do. Got an oncoming vehicle there. We get over to the left. Great job. Man, it just handles other vehicles so well. We got the on-ramp to the Beltway right here. Great job. Get up on the ramp. Ramp's moving a little slow. We got, looks like a big straight truck up there going a little slower. That's all right. let those trucks go a little slower. You don't want them to turn over. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not a straight truck, that's a semi. Even more so. Coming down the off-ramp. Gonna merge onto the beltway here in a second. But we gotta slow down a bit as traffic slows down to get onto the beltway. We're not gonna be on the beltway that long, just a mile. All right. Merge into the beltway. Great job. Excellent job. Get over to get past some slower moving traffic, but we can't get over too much. We've only got 3/4 of a mile to get off on 59 East Tex Freeway going northbound. Starting to slow down a bit. There we go. We get over. We have to be in this lane to get onto the East Tex ramp. We got the blinker on, but we don't need to move over. We need to stay right here. And good, it took the blinker off. I think that putting that right blinker on was just to signify that it was staying this way with the fork and not staying on the beltway. Because it didn't look like it was going to make any move to get over to the other lane. All right, we slow down a bit as we get to the on-ramp for 59 East Tex Freeway. And I will debrief a bit about the airport gauntlet here in a second once we get on 59. All right, we're moving through. Got quite a bit of traffic though, but it's moving along at about 40 miles an hour. Start making our way down the off-ramp and get onto the on-ramp. And there we go. There she is, 59 East Tex. Got some traffic we're going to contend with up here. We're going to have to do a little merging and then probably start working our way over to the left to get to the faster moving lanes. Let's see how we do. Got a semi to our left. All right, we get right in behind the semi. We make our move. Great job. Make another move, and we are in the leftmost lane. And there we go. We're cooking with salt and pepper now, baby. 82 and a 65, and we need to go 82 right now. We're going 80 and there's somebody hot on my butt, but I tell you what, it doesn't matter. Like, look ahead of us. Yeah, I'm telling you folks, Texas highways are a little bit different. All right, right now we've kind of settled in. Going about 70. We're going along with traffic ahead of us. I do have vehicles like literally right on my butt, but again, we're going with traffic, so they're not on my butt trying to tell me to get out of the way. They're just on my butt. There we go. We're going to pick up some speed. That car gets over. I make a little bit of space between me and the folks that were right on my butt. So the airport gauntlet, yeah. So we did not get out of there without any interventions. But like I said in my preamble as we were headed there, I go into that with the presumption that I'm gonna at least have one, and we did. So we had an intervention at Terminal EC area, and then we had a red hands coming up to Terminal A, literally going like 5 miles an hour into the passenger drop-off area. So, and I've been going directly into the sunlight this entire time. So again, it's just, it's funny when it decides to give you the red hands. It's like at the least risky time. So one of the things I've heard about and I'm gonna do is after Christmas, I've got a service appointment set up with Tesla for them to check my front windshield camera. I have heard that some people have like a gassing issue up there, and so I've also heard that once they've had that serviced, that the red hands have gone away. Now for others, I've got other friends on X and YouTube that have done it as well, and unfortunately for them, they have not noticed a decrease in the amount of red hands. So again, we'll never know unless we do it. But quite frankly, I only had one today. Well, let me knock on wood, I'm not home yet. But I only had one, and it was literally right at the passenger drop-off area going 5 miles an hour. But nonetheless, we did have a red hands. And so, I'm just gonna be honest, I was just presuming it's a safety mechanism built in because of when I get it. I'm like, if it's because it can't handle the sun, well, I literally just drove straight into the sun for a half an hour, going all around the Houston airport, and nary an issue. But I've also heard from others that, hey, if you take it to the Tesla service center, just let them look at it and let them clean it out. And in a lot of cases, the red hands completely went away. So I'll check that out. And I think it depends on the model too. Like I have a Model 3, and I have had significantly less red hand issues as some of my friends that have Model S's. So I don't know. But eventually that's going to go away. It's going to become irrelevant. All right, we're slowing down a little bit here. But while it's not irrelevant, might as well do anything. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful Tesla. Look at that. Another Model 3 right there. Blue. You know, I never really thought I liked the color blue. Like when I see it on the website, I'm just like, but then when I see them like nice and clean in person, they look beautiful. Like, look at that. That is a beautiful Tesla. But I love my charcoal gray too. I also love the price of the charcoal gray, which was nada. So yeah, but still an excellent move through the Gauntlet. All right, we're moving our way over. We got about 3/4 of a mile to get off on North Park, so we got to start moving our way over. Find gaps. Let's see. Oh, we got a truck getting over. There you go. Got a little lowrider. Do your thing. All right, so we're going to move up behind him. We got about 0.4 miles left. We got a nice little gap right here, but we got to get 2 more lanes over. There we go. We find another one. Slow down. Traffic's slowing down, so we need to slow down. We find a gap and we get over again with 0.1 miles to go. Great job. Man, I don't even know why I clap or am amazed anymore. What it can do on the highway is just phenomenal. So yeah, it did great at the airport. Man, there were some maneuvers it did getting around some of that road construction and the cones. I was just like, wow. Getting through the police officers. It definitely, let me just be blunt, it had much less hibby-jibbies around police officers in the middle of the road this time. But I did have a scenario where a police officer literally came right up to the side. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it in the video because of the way the cameras are focused on the front windshield and my beautiful face. But he came up right to the passenger side, basically to give me a thumbs up for basically disobeying him and not hitting a woman that he did not know had gone into the crosswalk against his orders. But yeah, once he was right there, though, it just wasn't going to move. So when he whistled on, I did a quick tap of the accelerator and we moved on. But yeah, it did great. And then up at Terminal B, once, you know, we did have the red hands, I'm sorry, Terminal A, we did have the red hands coming into the passenger drop-off area at Terminal A, so as we were slowing down to a crawl. But once we reset FSD, perfect, got through there fine. And then got back around the tail end on the arrival side of Terminal A and B, and got through that well with the road construction, and then made our way over to the rental car center and was able to actually make the exit for the rental car center, which I did not think it was going to be able to do. I thought we were just going to have to reroute. But once that car that was catacornered to us moved through, there was a gap good enough for us, and it took it and made it. So that was very impressive. Oh my gosh, that car just took out the curb. Whew. The Trojan's got some road rash now. Why, that didn't sound good. You never want a Trojan with road rash. Ba-dum-bumps. All right. Slowing down for the vehicle with their right blinker on. They're going into the Kelsey Sebo Medical Center. And we can't get around because we got vehicles to our left, as you can see. So we handled that perfectly. Just slow down and let her through. Give them a gap. All right, got our right blinker on. We're going to turn right onto East Knox Drive, our little small country road, narrow road here. We do have a truck. There we go, with a trailer on it for cars. We, like I said, I got the workshop over there. We get around that 100% perfectly. Get back over to the right side of this road. This is technically a 2-lane road, but man, it sure as heck doesn't feel like it's about as wide as most of the roads on the highway. Most of the lanes, I should say, on the highway. All right, we've got our intersection here. One thing well, let's get through here first. And then we'll put a pin in what I was about to say. Let's get through the intersection here of 494 and East Knox Drive. We got oncoming vehicle. Oh my, well, we were gonna take, we're gonna take it. Great job. So we had the right of way. We were gonna take it, but that car went ahead. We obviously stopped to let them through. We did have an oncoming vehicle, but we had, that honk, by the way, was not for me. That honk was for that black car back there that was lollygagging, getting up into the railroad intersection. As you can tell, as we pass by it, a lot of exasperated line of traffic there, and we're about to pass by some more of it. So no, that honk was not at me. Anytime I hear a honk, I always want to address it. If it's aimed at me, I'll own it, but that one was not aimed at me. That one was aimed at somebody lollygagging and getting into the intersection. Or, you know, I take that back. I wonder if they were going into the intersection and it wasn't their turn. We obviously had the right of way, so no issues there for us. But what I was going to put, what I put a pin in is, I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, my previous videos, not my version 13, but back when I was on version 12. We had all sorts of fits at that intersection because they have that traffic light fixture in, but they haven't turned the traffic lights on. So at that intersection there, FSD was getting confused and thought, well, you got a traffic light. I don't see a green light, so I guess it's red. So it constantly thought it was a red light. And you just, unless you intervene, you're just gonna sit there, right? Since I've gotten 13.2.1, that is a non-issue at all. And man, you just saw the confidence it had going through that busy intersection right there. I mean, we had a vehicle turning left in front of us, and I'm pretty sure that was our turn. I'll look back at the video, but it was either Ty goes to the runner or it was us. But either way, we stopped and let them on through. And we did have oncoming traffic to our right, but there was just enough of a gap to, once we made that stop to let traffic through, we went ahead and took it. And honestly, that's the safer thing to do versus just sit there and be a bump in the middle of the road for somebody to get around. So that was great. That was awesome. All right. Come to a 0 mph NHTSA stop, make our right turn. Coming up to the traffic circle. Go into the traffic circle, very smooth. Got an oncoming vehicle going into the traffic circle. We handle that well. Great job. Got a one-way stop up here. We'll take a left turn. No oncoming vehicles. They all have the right of way here, so we do have to wait and take a look, take a peek, see. All right. Got a right turn here, but there's no stop sign. You just keep on going. Great job. Got some young ladies out for a nice little run, a little jog. Great day to do it. To be out there with them. I need to get back into, get my routine of walking and jogging going. I'm kind of half and half. Kind of hard for me to run to, obviously those ladies look like they're in top notch. So they'd leave me in the dust. So no, I probably wouldn't run with them. But I'm kind of like, I do love to go out and walk, get like 4 or 5 mile walks in, and what I'll do is I'll try to jog about half of it, you know, jog for about 4 or 5 minutes and then walk for another 4 or 5 and then just alternate. Easier, I've found it's easier on my knees to do that if I just do it for like 3 to 5 minute segments versus just pounding the whole way. And when I get back, I'm sweating just as much. All right, turning on the street here. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to drop. Yep, there we go. We got dropped off right behind my brother-in-law's GMC Sierra. He's a truck man. So, yeah, good guy. And if y'all have seen any of my videos from previous, I'll get my brother-in-law back in here with me too. Good guy. He's with us, so really good guy. But he loves that truck. And so anyway, yeah, that was a great drive. Again, unfortunately we had an intervention at Terminal E/C, and obviously it was a brand new part. They've opened that part of the airport back up. I didn't think it even, I thought it was still under construction. So the Tesla actually went to the right spot. I just didn't know it existed. I had it, like, hey, we need to stay over to the left. Because that's how you get to, if you don't stay to the left, you go to Terminal D, and I don't want to go to Terminal D. I want to go to C and E. Little did I know that the left has been completely opened back up, so that's good. Great job. So that means we are finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel for the Houston airport. I'm not even talking about FSD right now. I'm just talking about the city of Houston, Harris County, Montgomery County, our airport, all that stuff. Y'all are doing a great job. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. They've opened that up. Still a ton of construction. We got to get through that. Once we get through all of that construction, I really think things will get back to normal and you can just pop something in easy. Houston Intercontinental Airport, Terminal C, and it'll take you right there. Right now, you do have to do a little gerrymandering. But I want to do it because if you're going to be in a cybercab robotaxi world, you got to be able to get to the airport and you got to be able to drop people off and pick them up. Well, we did that. The only problem is you also got to get past some police officers. And at one place, we weren't able to do it without me intervening. But again, interesting little story there. It's because we stopped, the car stopped for a lady, and the police officer came over to give a thumbs up, one of his buddies to give a thumbs up, and it stopped my car. So anywho, yeah, so I will get this all uploaded to my Mac and then download it and then upload it, and that, you know how that goes. Any of y'all that create content, it's a process, but I'll get that out there for y'all. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great rest of your Thursday. Sorry, the sun's just coming right into my face. Again, I drove for literally an hour and a half with the sun right in us. When does it give me the red hands? When I'm literally stopped. So go figure. But anyway, have a great Thursday, rest of your Thursday, and I will talk to y'all again soon. Bye, everybody.